everyone, it's Miss Jones and welcome to our art lesson. You know what they say, April showers bring spring flowers. So our project today is going to be inspired by those rainy days in the month of April. What you're going to need for our project is 2 pieces of paper. I suggest having 1 colored construction paper. I'm going to be using blue today for my background. And then you'll want to have a thinner piece of white paper. You could also use another color if you'd like, but it might be a little bit harder to fold. You're also going to need scissors and glue because we're going to be cutting and pasting. And you might also want to have a black marker. So a Sharpie is great, or just a regular black Crayola marker. If you would like to color your white paper, which you might, you can also use markers or crayons and colored pencils to do that as well. Or if you'd rather leave it just kind of black and white and maybe a little bit of pop of color, you can do that too. So we're going to be creating an umbrella scene today. So on your white paper, this is going to be our umbrella. So go ahead and grab your black marker and we're going to create our umbrella design. So you can start in any corner you like. We're just going to choose 1 corner. And we're going to create a pattern. Now, it's a lot easier to start with some stripes and then fill in your umbrella from there. And remember, with stripes and lines, you can make them dotted, you can make them squiggly, you can make them dots, dashes, whatever. There's a lot of different ways to do pattern and line. So let's start with our line. So we're going to do a curved line because our umbrella is going to be curved. So we're going to do curved lines and kind of do these stripes until we get kind of like a big arch out here. So I'm going to start with just regular solid lines, but maybe I'm going to do some dotted lines as well for my pattern. And we're just gonna go in the corner here and kind of frame that corner. So I kind of have my main shape now. I might add a few more details to my umbrella, just so that there's a little bit more going on. I feel like it might be a little bit boring right now. So I added a little bit more of a design to my umbrella here. And now I'm going to take the time to color mine. Now you can leave yours black and white if you'd rather do that, but I decided that I want to make mine a little bit more colorful so that it stands out on my piece of paper. So I'm going to color my umbrella and then we'll come back for the next steps. All right, so I went ahead and colored my umbrella. I added to the pattern a little bit and got it where I want it. Now, remember, you don't have to color your umbrella if you don't want. You can always leave it black and white. That's totally okay with me. It's whatever you'd like. So our next step is going to be to cut out our umbrella. So take your scissors and we're just gonna cut along this curved line here. So after we cut out our umbrella, we're gonna fold it, kind of like you would a paper fan. So the key is to keep it folding into this corner down here. Don't just fold it straight across. We need this part to keep so that all the lines and folds go into this corner. So go ahead and flip it over, and kind of like this on this corner here, we're gonna make sure it stays kind of pointed at that end, and then we're gonna fold like that, and then flip it over again, and we're gonna follow the same thing. So we're gonna keep it really nice and thin and pointed down here, and we're gonna fold it over itself. So this piece is gonna fold over itself kind of like that. So it should be kind of looking like that right now, but we want this end to be really thin so that it stays. So you kind of fold it over itself kind of like that, so it gets kind of like a point in the middle at the bottom tip there. So then flip it over again, and we're going to do the same thing. So it's kind of that back and forth. Make sure that tip is nice and small there, and kind of crease it so that the edges line up. Fold it over again, and we'll do the same thing. Let's keep that nice and pointed there. Again, and last one. So we've got kind of these like little pizza slices. So now it should look like kind of like a fan. So you should be able to pinch it, you know, kind of like you would a fan. Right? So it kind of looks like that. So it's all folded together, and all the folds come into the same point. Right, so after we have our umbrella done, so it's this nice little point, we've got it kind of like this, it looks like a fan. We're gonna grab our background piece of paper. So I have my blue here. And we're gonna take our glue stick and glue down our umbrella. So we're gonna glue it down right in the middle here. So there's a few ways you can do this. I wanna keep mine being really nice and three-dimensional here. So we're gonna just put some glue on the back, kind of all over this piece of paper, where we're gonna put our umbrella. And then we're gonna stick it down by sticking kind of the edges a little bit. You might have to add a little bit more glue in some places. We're gonna add the points. So maybe something like that, and get those points in there. So we wanna keep it 3D, but we don't want it to, but we wanna make sure it sticks. So it might take a little bit to get it to go down and to actually dry. So we might need to wait for it to dry a little bit. You might want to add some in some other places if you feel like it's not sticking too well. I'm kind of going along the sides and kind of pressing them just a little bit, but still trying to keep those folds nice and pointy there. So I kind of went along the sides and did it a little bit more, but it might take a little bit. You don't really want to mess with it too much because you're hoping it will dry sooner. All right, so I got mine kind of on there. I might wait for it to dry a little bit because it's a little bit sticky. So we don't want to mess with it too much. It should stay pretty well. But the more you mess with it, I'm realizing the more it might not stick. The more it might have a harder time sticking. So there we go. That's where I am so far. So after we get our umbrella stuck down, we can add to our background. So we're gonna add kind of a rainy scene to our background here. So I'm gonna add a handle to my umbrella up at the top, kind of coming out. And maybe I'll add a little bit of a, some sort of pattern on it. Maybe something like that. I can also add maybe something at the bottom, like maybe some rain petals. I might add a few of those. Those look pretty good, kind of looks rainy. Maybe I'll add some clouds at the top if you want to add some clouds. You could even add like a lightning bolt. And now I'm gonna start adding some rain. So I'm gonna add my raindrops, because why would we have an umbrella and petals if it's not raining? So I'm gonna fill up my background with raindrops, and I'm gonna make mine sideways. They're kind of just a bunch of dots. Maybe you want to make yours a little bit different. Maybe you want to make them straight down, like vertical. Alrighty, so there we go. I added a little bit more detail to my umbrella. I love how this looks. It really makes my umbrella stand out with kind of the monochromatic background there. Like I said, you can always do your umbrella just plain white, or even if you wanted to do a different color, you could. You don't have to color it the way I did, but I think this turned out pretty well. I think I could have probably folded it maybe a little bit better, and maybe kind of practice gluing a little bit more, but it looked really fun and kind of like this fun rain scene. I love my umbrella. I think the pattern turned out really cool, so I'm really happy with it. So thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this activity, doing a little folding, some kind of 3D kind of artwork that pops out. Looks pretty cool. So thanks, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this activity, and I will see you next time. Bye. Stay dry out there.